What is up, everyone? It's Matt with IDP Guys, here to tell you my top 5 IDP takeaways from Week 7 of the NFL season. As always, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything that I or any of my coworkers put out the rest of this year to help you win your league. Let's get to those takeaways. Takeaway number 1, let's talk about the newest linebacker over in Las Vegas. Blake Martinez made his debut this year for the Raiders. He racked up 4 combined tackles, but he only played 23% of defensive snaps. Let's look at those other linebackers in Las Vegas to see how Martinez's arrival sort of impacted them. Divine Diablo, he played 100% of defensive snaps, whereas Denzel Perryman only played 57. So Martinez's arrival did not really impact Diablo at all and really cut in to Perryman's time. So moving forward, you can obviously trust Diablo. Blake Martinez is the name, but you can't really trust him from an IDP perspective until he gets the snap counts up. And Perryman kind of takes a hit. He might not actually be startable until something changes. Takeaway number 2, if you're looking for a streaming option at defensive back, you can do far worse than Ryan Neal. On 100% of the defensive snaps this last week, he put up 7 combined tackles, he had an interception, and a really impressive 4 passes defended. This is now 3 straight games for Neal with 7 combined tackles and 2 straight games with a nice splash play. Again, if you're looking for a bye week fill-in, you can do far worse than someone that's on the field 100% of the defensive snaps and is putting up numbers like this. Takeaway number 3, Willie Gay is back in Kansas City after serving his suspension. He played 56% of defensive snaps, ended up with 8 combined tackles and half a sack. Nick Bolton is still a linebacker you want in Kansas City, and 56% of defensive snaps is not really as much as you'd really hope for someone you're starting regularly from an IDP perspective, but this is just his first game back, so if he can get those snap counts up, obviously he's on the field and making plays based on this game. So if he can get those snap counts up a little bit, he's going to be back on the LB3 radar. If you have space to stash him until that time comes, go and do it. Takeaway number 4, over in Cleveland, Dion Jones made his long-awaited debut for the Browns. Not a bad debut. He ended up putting up 5 combined tackles on 52% of defensive snaps played, but that's not the story. There was a lot of news going back and forth with who's going to be wearing the green dot between him and Jacob Phillips. Well, turns out Jacob Phillips might have suffered a season-ending injury in the game, which means the path is wide open for Dion Jones to be that linebacker next to JOK the rest of this season. If that is the case, you need to go pick up Dion Jones because he's going to be in line for a whole lot of IDP production the rest of this year. And finally, number 5, Patrick Queen is balling out in Baltimore, and we have to take notice. In this game, on 98% of defensive snaps played, he had 11 combined tackles and a sack. Look, we know he's been inconsistent in the past, and we couldn't really trust him in our starting lineups, but he's proving time and time again this year that you can trust him. So this is really just an FYI. Go and trot him out any format. The dynamic playmaker is really doing it from an IDP perspective, and that is worth noting. So there you have it, folks. Those are my top 5 IDP takeaways from Week 7 of the NFL season. Again, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a dang thing the rest of this year. My name is Matt. I work for IDP Guys, and I will see you next week.